Well, hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So I am immigration attorney Connie Kaplan in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And hello everyone. Hi Monir. Hi Andy. Um, so we are live this morning on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So we are going to talk today about this common question. We get this question all the time, all the time. And it comes from people abroad and from people in the US. It comes from US citizens, permanent residents, as well as US nationals, okay, well, foreign nationals. So what we are going to talk about today is, should you get married to your US citizen or permanent resident spouse inside the United States or outside the United States, okay? And there are quite a few considerations at play here, right? So we just need to make sure that we are, all right, so hi. Let's go again. So it's immigration attorney Connie Kaplan in sunny South Florida. Well, it's still dark here, but we help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. And this morning we are live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You guys have questions. I see them popping up on TikTok. I don't see any yet from Facebook, Insta, or YouTube. So feel free to put them there. Topic for today is where you should get married, in the United States or outside the United States. And there are some considerations to think about before you make a decision to do one or the other. So before I get into the topic, let's just say good morning to some people. Hi, can possibly to apply for Canada visa. Monir, we do not handle Canadian immigration. I am an immigration attorney in Fort Lauderdale in the United States, and I can only advise you as to how to come to the United States or how to be in the United States legally, okay? I want to go to America. How? You might want to look at all of our TikToks because I explained this in detail on quite a few of them, okay? I want to marry in USA, please go get USA or Canada visa. Well, I cannot help you as to Canada, but if you want to marry in the US, first things first, you need to have a fiance, okay, in the United States. So your US citizen or permanent resident fiance can petition for you for a fiance visa. If you are not already married, they have to be a US citizen. If you guys, if you're not already married, a permanent resident cannot sponsor you. If you are a US citizen or your fiance is a US citizen, they can definitely petition for you as a fiance. Before marriage, that is the fastest way to get your loved one, your spouse, your future spouse, or your fiance in the United States. Remember, a fiance is before marriage, okay? If you have had a marriage ceremony, you have a marriage license, that person is no longer your fiance. At that point, they are your spouse, they are your wife, they are your husband, okay? So remember that. If you are not already married, a permanent resident cannot sponsor a fiance. So someone who has a green card in the United States, okay, someone who has only a green card in the United States, you cannot petition for a foreign national. Only a US citizen can petition for a foreign national as a fiance, okay? So before marriage. So let's say Joe from the United States, who's a US citizen, met Mary from, let's say, Bangladesh, okay? And Joe wants to bring Mary here. If they met in person at least once, then Joe can file a petition for Mary. Let's say they are getting married, okay? If they got married, then he can also file, if they got married already, okay? If they got married, they can file a spousal petition. If they are not married, they can file a fiance petition. If they are a permanent resident, they can file a spousal petition only. The difference is, for spousal petition, you need a marriage. For fiance visa, you cannot have been married. So Andy, I hope that helped you a lot, okay? So good. So can I travel to Canada? I can't help you with Canada. Okay, all right, good. So that's what we are going to talk about today, okay? Should you remember the difference in status, fiance versus spouse? Spouse is husband or wife. If you have met in person at least once and you are not married, then it's your fiance. That is the fastest way to get her here if you are a US citizen. If you are a permanent resident, you do not have that option. If you are a permanent resident, you have to become a citizen first to petition for your fiance. However, you can get married, and if you are married to a foreign national, you can petition for them if you are a green card holder or a US citizen. And then we're going to talk about what is it better to get married in the United States or abroad. Let's see what questions we got so far. I want to join the US Army. How do I go about that since I'm in Ghana, not American? You have to become an American first, okay? The US military accepts permanent residents, so you have to find a way to become a permanent resident first. Okay, Fayaz. Great, I'm glad. Okay, good. I have nobody in the US. This is a problem. Listen, there are many other options to come to the United States, not marriage, but that's the topic for today, okay? You can see all my other TikToks because I do have listed really all the options on which to come to the United States. All right. Guys, I cannot help you with Canadian immigration. I don't know enough about it, you know? So let's talk about it. I get a lot of those. Can I travel to Canada? Can I do this? Can I travel to the UK? I do US immigration, and it says right there in my profile. I love that you guys are following me, but I cannot help you with that. After all, if you need surgery on your stomach, you're not gonna go see a brain surgeon. You need to try to follow someone who does Canadian immigration. And there are quite a few of them, right? So if you want to go to Canada, that is who you need to talk to. My dad is American, hi Jose, but he tried hard to bring me, but it cannot work. It really depends. If your father tried to get you here and you are over the age of 21, the process takes a long time. That does not mean it's impossible. Okay, it depends on, I'm assuming he is a US citizen. You say he is American. So unless you particularly have other issues that prevent you from coming to the United States, that is not a hard process. It just takes a long time. But it's true. It's like you can't get a brain surgery from a stomach problem, right? That makes total sense. And we get this all the time. As much as I would love to help people go everywhere, I cannot speak to something that I don't know. So we are going to focus on US immigration. Okay. All right. Is the immigration open for those that won the visa lottery? Actually, it is. Those that already won the visa lottery, okay, there are deadlines that they need to issue 9,000 visas, which is significantly less than what they have selected. They are going to have to issue 9,000 visa by the end of September, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So yeah, they have to do that. All right. So I know no one out there. I don't know how I'm going to get to the States. Look at all of our TikToks. We have many options listed there. And say, for example, you find one that says if you're highly educated, then you can get to the United States with an employer willing to petition for you. Well, if you don't have that advanced degree, maybe now is the time to go to school. Immigration in general, it takes years, okay? So you need to put your steps in place that you need to do. Every once in a while, we get calls to the office that say, well, can you help me get there? I'm like, yeah, if you have a family member, if you can invest a lot of money in the US and create US jobs, if you have an employer willing to petition for you, if you are super highly educated and you have an advanced degree or you're doing something remarkable, say in pharmaceuticals or whatever it is, an engineer, then yes, we can get you here. There are some options in which you do not need a sponsor. And then the next question comes is like, well, I don't even have a passport yet. Well, I can't help you. You know, you need to take the steps that need to be taken in order for someone to help you. If you don't even have a passport, how is the employer going to hire you? Okay, so keep that in mind. Do the steps that you need to take, because otherwise it's just you're here, you're not committed. When someone wants to get someplace, someone wants to do something, okay, then they are taking the steps that are necessary to get there. And I'm telling you this as an immigrant myself, okay? I'm an immigrant. I came here from my home country a long time ago, but I knew when I came here that that is what I needed to do. And I knew that my first step was going to be get a passport. Second step, what are my options? Meet with an immigration attorney, talk about my options. Then I needed to determine, okay, which is the path that I'm willing to take. And then I had to go to school and finish what I needed to do in order to come here, okay? So you need to take those steps as well. All right, so let's go over some questions. I'm behind the answers. I asked about tourist visa. Hi, John. So tourist visas, let's talk about that for a second before I get back to my topic, because people are here for that topic. So we're going to talk about it. John, tourist visa depends on which country you are from. If you're from Australia or most of the Schengen countries in the EU, then you can apply for ESTA and you can travel to the United States on ESTA. That is a registration. It's not like a tourist visa. You are giving up some rights when you register for ESTA, and you can stay a maximum of 90 days. That is the best option right now because consulates are closed and almost none of them are processing tourist visas. Okay. Now, assuming they do process tourist visas in your home country at your embassy or consulate, then please tell me what is your specific question about your tourist visa, because right now they're just not being issued. The backlog of visas, it's over 500,000 applications. How much do I need to move me and my family to the US? It depends on a lot. It depends on the type of business you want to open, how many jobs you are going to create, where in the United States you are going to start the business, how did you get the money, how much money we're talking about, what country of origin. Okay, so there are a lot at stake. Okay, so I'd love to help you, but your best option is probably to book a consultation. Generally speaking, you know, there are applications for investor visas where they invest $5 million and they get denied, but there are applications for 150,000 US dollars that get approved. So it's not a one thing, and it's how much money is the wrong question. The visas will issue by the end of September. If you are already in the queue and you submitted your application and you paid the fees, then they have to issue 9,000 something visa. That doesn't mean yours will be one of them, but generally speaking, if you meet the criteria, yes. I'm an Ethiopian living in Poland recently, and my visa gonna expire soon. How can I apply? Apply for what? I don't know what you want to apply for. I'm assuming you want to apply for the green card lottery. Green card lottery does not open until October. It will be open for 30 days. Follow us and we'll keep updating it, okay? Just because you are applying for the lottery now doesn't mean you're gonna win. Second, if you do win, you're not gonna be able to come here until the fiscal year for which they are processing the application, and that is 2023. I'm taxi driver in Dubai, my study in high school. Can I apply for taxi companies? No. And no, I wouldn't know taxi companies. I got admission to Oklahoma, but was denied visa, partial scholarship. We need to know why you were denied the visa. A visa refusal, it's not the same thing as a visa denial. You could have been denied if you were not able to prove to the consular officer that you are going to return back to your country when you are done with your course of study, or you were not able to prove to the officer enough ties back home, such as, wife and kids, a very steady job, enough money to support yourself during the entire course of study. That's why visas generally get denied for students. Yeah, see, they wanted proof of ties to country, and I know that's what it is. Toxicology is a great degree. You need proof of ties to the country. We can help you with that. If you have them, we can help you properly prepare the application. Remember, the consular officers really only have about a minute to a minute and a half to look at your application. So it's all in how you prepare your application. Because of the water crisis, that got me upset, and ever since I not applied. Is it true if you have been Saudi Arabia, you'll be denied visa? No, it's not. Oi boy, hi, love Preet, I have withholding of removal granted and my asylum is denied. What options I have to get a green card? That is an excellent question. You need to do about something. You need to do something about the withholding of removal. With the withholding of removal, you cannot get a green card. So how you get one, it really depends if you have an option to reopen the removal case and perhaps get the judge to terminate your case, okay? You only can do that if you have other ways to get the green card. Basically, you need a family member, okay, to petition for you. That's a US citizen. Or you would need to get an employer who can petition for you. The problem is with the employer is you still need a qualifying relative for all the unlawful presence that you have accumulated. So usually the best way is through marriage or other family members. But we helped people before who have had withholding of removal granted. We were able to reopen. It's a risk you take because once you reopen, they can actually deny your withholding and you might not have it anymore. But at some point, you have to do something about it. Otherwise, you can stay with withholding for the rest of your life with a work permit. Not everyone envy living in the US. Some just want to gain skills to solve problems in Africa. I totally understand that. And actually, that is what we hear from many, many clients. And that's very admirable. But I don't make the laws. And if you don't intend to live in the United States, you just have to prove that to the consular officer. Every time you guys go for a visa interview, they are always going to presume that you want to live in the United States, and it's up to you to prove otherwise, okay? How can one change status from asylum seeker to permanent resident in the US? There are some options as to that, depending on how much unlawful presence you accumulated before you applied for asylum, depending on your family relationship, depending on your education, and so on. Generally, you have to have another option to get a green card and then get the judge or the asylum office to do something about your case. No, delivery job you cannot get in the US. You cannot, there is no visa for that. My case, I'm going to need to speak with an attorney in person. Yeah, we are talking like this. All of our, I'm glad you're asking that. We have clients in 46 states, actually 47 right now. We have clients in 47 states in the United States. It doesn't matter where your immigration lawyer is. Most of them handle all of the United States. And we meet with clients via Zoom online all the time. Okay, so give us a call. We can help you. Look, if you don't have the means to travel, you do not have the means to show to an immigration officer that you are going to go back to your country. So it's going to be hard to get a visa. What are most likely reasons why I can't win a green card? Nothing. There is no likely reason. It's a lottery. So if you are, when you're talking winning, I'm assuming you're talking about the green card lottery. It's a lottery. You apply, many people apply, some win, some don't. There are people, we just did an application for someone who tried for 22 years, okay? So if you don't have education, then you have to find a family member, perhaps in the United States, to get you here. Other than that, unless you're independently wealthy, it's just not going to happen. Where are we situated? We are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home, okay? So give us a call. It doesn't matter where you are. My in-law petition for my wife when my wife was single. Now she's married and her petition approved. It depends because it changed the category. Okay, now that she's married, okay, it's a different priority date. It might take longer. Depends on where you are in the country. It's a minute. Well, it take about 7 years minimum, and it could be as long as 21 years. Really depends on what country is your wife from. Oh, I know, Zeb, I understand. I'm from India, but live in Sierra Leone, West Africa. I applied for it. They rejected my visa. Yeah, I just addressed that. Okay. Next challenge will be why you are leaving your family behind. Usually that is not a question, because if you have your family and your family is behind you, and they are not coming with you, they know that you have limited options to remain in the United States. You cannot just come to the United States and get married for papers. So they actually like when your family stays behind. We don't know when the lottery is reopening, and it's not 2022 lottery opening. It's going to be 2023 that is reopening. All right, so let's see, new messages. All right, cool. So let's address the topic that we are talking about. Well, Jesus, I need coffee. So should I get married in or outside the United States? If you are already in the United States, get married in the United States. If you are abroad and you cannot travel to the United States, get married outside the United States. If that is the case and your spouse is a US citizen, what you want to do is probably have your spouse petition for you as a fiancé. For that to happen, both of you must have met in person at least once and be able to prove it. All right. Other than that, let's say you have a tourist visa. Okay. You guys can visit each other. That is not a problem. They can visit you. You can visit them. If at some point in the future, you guys decide, well, we can't stay apart, and that decision is done when you are already in the United States, then that decision is done. You don't suggest I get married because of that, do you? Marriage is genuine until death do you part. No, of course not. I'm telling you that the consular officers are going to look at your family relationships, your ties back to your country, which includes family relationships, and that's not mother and sister. They are looking at spouse and children. They are looking at your financial ties, your education, your job, your financial situation. So yeah, okay. All right, so I addressed many questions today. Thank you all for being here. And I am going to be again live tomorrow. We are going to address a totally different topic. So hope I answer your questions again then. I was able to, hopefully this morning, I was able to help at least one person. Okay, so thank you guys. And I